welcome. This is my first ever YouTube video, so that's exciting and scary. My name is Michelle. I'm 35 years old. I am married. My lovely husband Tom is in the military, and we have a baby daughter called Lila. She's 16 months old, and a rescue dog called Ty, who you may hear in the background because he's got his treats on the go. Right, I thought I would take this opportunity because I don't get a lot of time to myself being a mummy, you know. So baby has just gone up for a nap, husband is out, so I was like, perfect opportunity to sit down with you with a cup of tea and talk about my experience on the carnivore diet. So first things first, I'm a qualified personal trainer. I'm not currently working as a personal trainer, but with that experience I've probably tried pretty much every diet out there besides from the really crazy ones like the cabbage soup diet, because no. So yeah, I mean I couldn't advise my clients on what they could eat if I hadn't done it myself. That was my take on things. So the whole reason I found carnivore was I've been on keto since October 2018 in a bid to lose the baby weight. I put on quite a lot of weight while I was pregnant, so what was my heaviest? About 196 pounds was my heaviest. That was straight after having the baby. And my starting weight with keto was about 184 pounds. So I'd lost a little bit straight after giving birth, but it was being really stubborn. You know, I'm over 30 now, so it's just that much harder. By the way, I apologise for the quality, but I'm having to film this on my iPad because I don't have a like a vlogging camera or anything, obviously, with this being my first video. Just let me know if the volume's really crap, and then if I do another one I can maybe play around with things. Yeah, so I'd been keto for a few months, and I'd been following quite a few of the YouTubers like Primal Edge Health, Dr. Berg, and all that led me to seeing more and more about the carnivore diet and learning about oxalates in particular. So I started out just cutting down on vegetables, just to see how it would feel, really, and felt absolutely fine. I know I have a little bit of an intolerance to dairy, so I use the lacto-free milk, and you know, I was still eating cheese and everything like that on keto. So I'd been cutting back on the veg, but me and my husband both decided that for May we would go full bore. So the first week I had planned to do no caffeine, no dairy, just meat and eggs, because I wanted to sort of give myself the best shot. And I think it was actually cutting out the caffeine that made me feel so crap that first week, because you're going to get a bit of an adaptation regardless of whether you're coming from keto or not. Your body is still going to go through an adaptation phase. So that first week I had, you know, the headaches and that from the caffeine withdrawal more than anything else. And my sleep was pretty bad as well. It reminded me of when I first went keto, and you go through that sort of insomnia phase. It reminded me of that. My energy was really low. I've got my notes in front of me if you wonder why I keep looking down. Yeah, my energy was really low, and I did have some loose bowel movements. I know everyone's interested in the digestion side of things, don't know why. But overall the week wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Once you get over the first few days of going without caffeine, you kind of get over it. But from a social standpoint, it was a little bit awkward because you know, I like to have coffee with my neighbour and stuff like that, so Sorry, I can hear the baby on the monitor. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Anyway, so week 2 rolled around. Energy was still pretty low, but digestion top notch. Really good. I think the second week was hardest in terms of being a bit bored. Sorry, it's the dog. Being a bit bored food-wise. I mean, I love meat, and I wasn't missing veg per se, but I was trying to get my head around when you're like putting out your dinner plate, you normally put your meat down and then you put your accompaniment down with your meat. So it was really strange to go to just putting meat on your plate. But yeah, overall, pretty good the second week. Week 3 is when my energy picked up again. So I wouldn't say I had a spike in energy, but it definitely returned to normal. You know, I'm a mum, so I'm tired a lot of the time, and my baby's a good sleeper, so I don't even have that as an excuse. I will say that after the first week I did go back to having my tea with the lacto-free milk in it, because I'm English and I can't live without tea, bottom line. Sorry if you can hear the baby, she's not quite settled, but I'm sure she will be. Yeah, so energy went back to normal on week 3 and digestion was absolutely fine, and I wasn't bored anymore. You know, I was really enjoying my meals. I can make a separate video on what sort of things I was eating, or you can follow me on Instagram. I'll put that in the description. So week 4, the last final week, everything was just fine, just normal. Everything was flowing, you know. And it just, by this stage, it was just normal for us, just normal life. You know, I was coming from keto, I was only having 2 meals a day anyway, and then so that I just kept that up. I did get a bit hungrier in the first week, but that's part of the adaptation, apparently. I'm told, I mean, everyone's different, but I did end up having 3 meals a day for the first few days. So in terms of results, didn't really have massive results, but I think because I've come from a background of sort of yo-yo dieting, I think my body is still healing in that sense. So I dropped 2 pounds the first week, but that went back on. And I think that is because I reintroduced the caffeine with the milk. And, you know, when I was out and about, I would have a coffee with cream, with pouring cream. And I know that I don't do particularly well with dairy, but I didn't want to completely cut it out. But, you know, when we go on holiday next week to Cornwall, and we are going to veer off plan while we're there, we know that already. It's a self-catering holiday, so we can stick pretty much to our diet. But we already have planned that we're going to have some ice cream, and we're going to have, you know, a proper cream tea, so scones with a clotted cream and jam, because when in Cornwall, you have to have scones with clotted cream and jam. It's the law. So I'm really not looking forward to my digestion, though. It's going to be pretty rough, I imagine. Okay, pros and cons. I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible because I know that it can get a bit boring. Start with the pros. It's really easy. It is the simplest way of eating imaginable. You're not having to prep all of this veg and sides and stuff like that. So yeah, just really easy. And because you're only having 1 or 2 meals a day, you know, it frees up all this time for you to do other things. And as a mum, that's good. It's really filling. You know, meat is the most nutrient dense food that we have. Nutrient optimal. Because the vegans use nutrient dense. Yeah, really filling, really satiating. So like I said, 1 or 2 meals a day and you are good. sleep. After the initial little insomnia session, sleep picked up brilliantly. Less bloating, definitely. I mean, I'd cut back on the veg quite heavily before I went full bore carnivore anyway, but I would say definitely that first week of cutting out the dairy completely, that definitely helped with less bloating. I've still got a little bit of a mummy tummy pouch thing going on, and it's really, really tasty, because let's face it, steaks are yummy, minced beef is yummy, pork belly is yummy, you know. I don't sit there and go, oh, broccoli is so tasty. No. Okay, cons, because no diet is perfect, let's face it. It is socially awkward. It is socially awkward. I mean, restaurants are tricky. We didn't eat out that much. The couple of times we did, we went for, we had a pub lunch one day, so we had the mixed grill, which unfortunately came with a lot of chips and salad, but I just left those. We just had to go for whatever was the meat heavy dish, rather than, you know, being all, I don't want this and I don't want that and just give me burgers or whatever. But luckily we didn't eat out that much anyway. Expensive, it can be expensive. We predominantly shop at Lidl, and then we were getting liver from our butcher. But it can work out expensive, it just depends how you do it. I can make a budget carnivore video because, you know, we're a single income family, so we have to, you know, we can't be spending a fortune on steaks and stuff. Oxalate dumping. Ugh. If you're already doing carnivore, you've probably experienced some sort of oxalate dumping symptoms. Not nice, really not nice. Joint aches and stuff like that. My husband was getting like gunky eyes, which we put down to that as well. It can be boring at the start as well. It was for me, until I wrapped my head around it. Once I wrapped my head around it, it was fine. And you stop thinking of food as like a treat or entertainment or something. You know, it's more fuel. It becomes fuel, and that's that. People will tell you that you're crazy. My mum turned around to me and said, Michelle, you cannot live off of just meat. And, you know, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It goes against the trend. This is the issue. You go against the standard diet, culture, advice, government guidelines, you know, that awful pyramid thing with all the bread and pasta and crap at the bottom with the, like, that's what most of your diet should be. It's absolutely insane. But they think we're insane. So, yeah. One of the best things for me was, like, I've suffered intermittently with knee pain in my left knee. Had like an MRI scan and everything, and they could never find anything wrong. It's just one of those random things that happen, one of those random aches and pains that you get. It went away. It went away completely. Now, it's been a few days since the end, and the only thing that I reintroduced is dark chocolate. Okay, had a little bit of dark chocolate, and the knee pain came back. Like literally the next day, it came back, and it really hurt as well. It wasn't like just a little ache or anything. It was really painful. Yeah. So overall, love it. Definitely going to continue. I think I will start to notice more like body composition changing. I did lose ½ an inch off my stomach. That was the only inch loss that I had. But I'm not that fussed, you know, this is the long haul. And I lost the baby weight that I had on keto. So this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is for my health now. And it's all about body composition now, because I'm sitting at around 30% body fat. I'm on the higher end of healthy according to BMI. We know BMI's bollocks anyway. But, you know, it's nice to fit into the clothes size that you want and stuff like that, you know. So if you want to know anything else, just leave me a comment with some questions. If you want to see another video on what I eat, or budget carnivore, then just let me know and I'll be happy to do that. So this wasn't as scary as I thought, and I hope I wasn't too rambly, but it is my first video, so yeah, just go easy on me.